And we're back as promised to look at LEGO 80107, the Spring Lantern Festival, what Zuzaming About is calling a modular building, and it is somewhat modular. This is why I wanted to come back and look at this set, is because after I had recorded the initial look, I realized that there was some additional material published that kind of shows some really interesting features. So these first two pictures, we'll take a quick look here, and you can see that the difference is we have the two circular door openings on one side of the street in this picture, but in this one they kind of flip-flopped to be on either corner on either side of the sidewalk. So what's going on? Actually, this 16 by 32 base plate can separate along this joint and kind of move over to this side and then clip in, just like our modular building lines do with the Technic bins. So yeah, in a way, in a sense, that is a modular building, more of a modular park, I think, in this case, but really exciting to know that the design standard of kind of the modular street and all of those connection points are being maintained with this, and it actually is thought to be integrated with the other kind of mainstream modular sets, even though this is specifically created for the Chinese New Year kind of run. It could become a theme now that we've got 2 successive years with sets in this theme, and not only that, but we have 2 just announced. So just recently looked at 80106 in the previous video, all those special elements. Now we're going to look at the same thing, 80107. So what do we have here? We have a 32 by 48 base plate worth of a park and some green space, some little builds, and 8 minifigures. And elements galore to go through here. I'm just going to try to scroll, and as I see them, I'll discuss and talk about that. So the first picture here, we see this little banner flag that is Chinese characters printed on that. This will probably be our vinyl punch-out style of element, but these are kind of all the way down the park row on each lamppost mounted on there. So pretty interesting. Just adds another little detail to an already fabulous looking layout, and you get some kind of additional, instead of black lettering, these have the gold. I think these are probably stickers on a 1x3 tile. Our minifigure here is almost a monofig where it's all one color, but the head is actually transparent red, and that looks to be unprinted. I don't think that's a brand new element though. Let's try to look this up really quick. Minifig head, trans neon orange. You know what? It's not showing up here on Bricklink, so that just might be a new unprinted element. I think we do have this printed from an old Atlantis set, but that's the only one I can think of. So that is official now, and there's actually several trans red heads in the set, but the other ones have these golden prints on there. So this one is blank. The rest of the minifig red kind of reminds me of those VIP minifigs. And then the actual doorways use these 4x4 quarter round tiles. A lamppost over here, not a whole lot new, but it does add that detail. I do like how they use this handlebar element to drop down on each side to add those candles or those decorations, whatever they are. And then a whole bunch of our 1x1 kind of bump tiles used all the way around the perimeter. I think we can look here up above each roof and then along the top of the walls as well. Alright, let's keep moving along. Here's one of the 8 minifigs. I think this is one of the few minifigs that is reusing a torso print. This was included in one of the City Diver sets. So sand blue with that little strap across the shoulder. But still pretty exclusive, and that was just released this year. So it's not like it's reusing a City torso that gets used a lot. That's a new torso. I think that's new. Teal, short legs. These hair pieces are pretty hard to find, only a couple sets. I think we looked at everything in this picture as well. Alright, let's keep going here. The highlight from this kind of angle is the printed 1x2 transparent light blue tiles with the koi prints on there. So there's 2 different styles, the gold and the yellow style here, and then the orange and the white. And depending on how you arrange these, you can actually get them looking in different patterns and swimming different directions, so you can rotate these around. But I think The orange and white one is always kind of facing up into this corner of the tile, and the yellow and orange one is always facing into this corner. So no matter which way you rotate these around, there's just the two different prints, and you can create different patterns. But that is a great print to have now, and kind of sets a standard if you're going to be building small pools and you want to include this piece. You're probably going to want to build out of this color, this light translight blue. I think this torso print is from Monkey Kid, being reused here. Another red scarf, and another one of those Monkey Kid staff elements here. And then this group of plants and bamboo, I think this piece in light green. Let's jump over on Bricklink here, see what I can find really quick in our plant category. It should be up here towards the top, I would think. Yeah, it's right there. I missed it. Lime. Okay, so we do have that in 5 sets. So not a very common piece, but it isn't unreleased. Good to see. You get several of those stacked up right there. Let's continue down the road a little bit. Here is our little bunny on a roller skate. The first thing I thought of when I saw this rabbit was the evil rabbit from Monty Python. It's got those red eyes. So run away, killer rabbit. Here's a really interesting print on the phone. This is a new design, kind of a text messaging service on here, looks like, with a little keyboard. Most of our phone prints are just the full screen. In fact, I think a lot of our smartphone 1x2 prints are either from Friends or Hidden Side. All the Hidden Side ones have a kind of a ghost print on there, so that's only useful within the theme, really. And the Friends ones are a little more stylized. So great to see a new smartphone print to kind of build up our collection of those utensil pieces. And here on this close-up shot, you can see that a good portion of the sidewalk in some places is made up of these 1x2 ingot pieces. They are really nice to get in metallic colors, but I won't turn them down in plain light gray. Looked at this torso briefly, but yeah, I think this is a bright light orange, kind of a jacket, and then a medium blue shirt underneath that, a heart-shaped locket, and then just a belt buckle visible right there. For the dark blue torso, a little bit of detailing up on the top half, but not too much. It's a nice generic sweater torso print there. And let's keep moving on. That looks to me like there is a light brick inside the bull statue, so that would explain why some of these pieces are transparent red to kind of be able to radiate that light. So that's pretty interesting. And the other thing going on here, more lanterns in the background. Yeah, right here I did want to mention this inside curvature on this 4x4 plate with that round cutout. So that piece available in dark tan. Let's really quick see if I can find that. I know we've got that in brown and black already. I think it's going to be in plate round. We'll just filter this really quick here, see what I can find. Starting to figure out my way around the Bricklink, the new XP version that LEGO has put out. Let's try just the regular plate category. See if I can find it in here. No, I don't see it right off the bat, so we'll look at that later. Anything else? This looks like it would be another smartphone print, so I don't know if I've actually seen what the other side of that looks like. Kind of curious as to what is printed on that 1x2 tile. If that is a sticker, depending on whether or not that's a sticker or print, that could be a nice piece to have, kind of grow a demand on the secondary market. Either way, that's another nice design that goes with the whole theme. And here we can showcase where the whole thing actually splits and you can rearrange it. So by the time you get to the back of the garden over here, it's actually built up on a layer of bricks, and that does allow the water to be sunken down a little bit under a layer of plates, one or two of those. And so that actually hides these Technic pins, and you can just snap those into place. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the position of these pins does line up with the modulars. Just thinking about how far those usually set in from the back of a 32x32 base plate, there's usually 7 or 8 studs worth of room to play with back there before you get to the pin. So I want to say that's where these are located, and they would be able to just snap right into place alongside modular you already have. But even if they don't, that would be pretty easy to modify to make it work. But I think just looking at this right now, I want to say, unless this front one isn't lined up quite right, this back one at least looks like it's in the right place to be able to do that. So pretty interesting. And then here is kind of a blurry, out of focus look at our bamboo, but just the same. I think, what kind of elements would these be? Would these be our candle elements in kind of a bright green? That would definitely be a new color of that piece if it was. So keep an eye on that. If we get some better images, we would probably be able to tell. But whatever's going on here to build this bamboo, haven't really seen that before in a Lego set. So that's pretty nice. And here is more of a full-scale look at the whole thing with it separated. So this pin separation distance might not be exactly right to go with the other modulars, but like I mentioned, pretty easy to modify if you do want to do that eventually. And I did mention these in the original video that I took a look at these yesterday, but some great dark blue elements up here on the gazebo roof, those bananas, and a 2x4 angle plate that actually goes to a point on both ends. So a right triangle there. Getting that plate back. Let's see what other colors that plate's been in so far. That's going to be an angle plate. No, not tile. Should be in here. I know it's been in red. I can't think right off the top of my head. Round plate. No, I don't see it right off, but I know it's been in red and black. So dark blue, I think, is a new color. And yeah, just a little closer look for you guys at 80107. The Chinese New Year set, one of two actually that LEGO just announced, should be available early 2021. And one of the things that LEGO recently did was make sure that their regional exclusives are actually not exclusive anymore. You should be able to buy this no matter where you are. If LEGO usually sells to your country, you should be able to pick up these sets. So I think this one is definitely my favorite of the two, just because it does have that modular integration kind of built into it already. And even out of context of the kind of traditional Chinese architecture, there's a lot of great detail elements going on here, just like kind of having this little stream in the middle of the park and the footbridge and the gazebo, all of that going on, regardless of kind of the traditional stylized look of the whole thing. I think is great to see this in an official LEGO set. So pretty cool. I know I wasn't really seeing this coming anywhere, and it just showed up with the announcement that LEGO put out on November 6th or November 5th. They had an event over in the Chinese market, and this was part of that event. And I'm not going to talk about this one today, but another one that was announced with these two is the Duplo 10943. So kind of in that same theme. And in fact, the hardcore collectors that are going to be making this a completionist thing, where they're going to try to get all the Chinese New Year sets, well, guess what, guys? You are going to be buying some Duplo, because it looks like this is part of that lineup as well. So Zusammengebaut has these images on file. Read through. There's some commentary in here. This is a German site, so the translation might not always be spot on, but definitely some things worth looking at, and great that we have additional images to really look at these details. So thanks for watching Brick System Brothers. We've got more videos on the way, and I'm sure we will have additional set announcements here as we kind of close out 2020. Still waiting on our official modular for 2021, so I would venture to say this is not our official modular, and whatever that ends up being, kind of to follow up the bookshop from last year, should be pretty interesting. And I know that I'm going to be saving a little bit of money back in case I want to pick that up early. So we'll keep an eye out for that, as well as a lot of our other sets and themes that should be right around the corner. Announcements coming out for those. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time on Brick System Brothers.